Right. Welcome to this next introduction here. What we're going to be talking about this is the opposite of demerit goods. We're going to be talking about merit goods. So you may be asking me, well, we know demerit goods are socially undesirable. Are merit goods socially desirable? Yes, good, well done. So these are socially desirable. So what this means is when I'm writing my pen with my whiteboard, I really can't speak. So what this means is that they're better for us than us as consumers realise. And again, this is because of information failure. And I have gone through this in my other video, and if you've watched it, then you just skip about 15 seconds. So information failure can occur because consumers don't understand it. Actually, I don't need to write this down. Just if you want me to write it down, you can go in another video. So information occurs because we don't understand it. We're not actually given it, or it's incorrect or false information. So that's how information failure can occur. If you've skipped a bit, welcome back. It's just well done for skipping to the right bit. So merit goods. Now we talked about the incorrect and correct level of demand. These are going to be switched of which level they are for merit goods. We're still going to keep the same supply diagram for this. So this is the basic diagram. I'm going to rub it off because we're going to obviously draw how to fix it diagram. You know, Bob will fix it sort of thing. Except as will. So, supply diagram. You've got our demand curve. And we've got our demand curve, or the demand curve. So, yeah, that's right. D in that order, D1. And this will be the correct level of demand. As we're basically switching them around. You know what? Yeah. Right. And obviously, we're being the rebellious kind. We're always on the incorrect level of demand. Otherwise, we wouldn't need to fix it. So we could call this E. Easy peasy. Q. And this is going to be E1. Call this P1, call this Q1. And obviously this is going to be price, and it's going to be quantity demanded and supplied. So there you two axes labelled. Obviously you don't need to. Obviously the problem cause is, as you can see, is have I done that right? Just one sec, make sure I've done this right. Yeah, it's underproduction is where on the lower level of demand we should be higher. Because we don't realise the true benefits for us. So a merit good could be same as a positive externality good, so probably healthcare, for example. You like to use healthcare as a main one. You could say, I know positive externalities we're talking about, the merit goods, but you could say for positive externalities in terms of healthcare, a major thing to go on about is the education for future employers, as they didn't directly involve themselves in the choosing of the education for the individual, but it helps the firm to increase their labour productivity, drive down unit costs. They can drive down prices in mass markets, gain customer market share, etc. But we'll talk about that in F582. So, as you can see, we want to get to this level of demand, correct level. So we want something that has the demand of Q1, but obviously we can't really change the demand curve, so we need the supply curve to shift, which is what we're going to do. Now when you draw in your supply curve, you need to make sure that when it meets demand axis, or the first demand curve, the incorrect one, which we're currently on, it needs to go through. When you draw your line down, dotted line, from E1, it needs to go through where they meet. Like, so this is your demand curve, and this is your supply curve. This high-tech channel 4 stuff, and they should go through, otherwise it look a bit stupid. And if they don't on the exam, you just say, if my drawing was correct, then the supply curve should have gone through had the same level of demand when I shifted it as the correct level of demand curve should. If that makes sense, but if it doesn't, you just have to redraw it and make sure that happens. So, as we shift the supply curve, we create a new equilibrium as demand equals supply of E2. And obviously, we don't need to draw a new dash down because we're going to be at Q1, which is socially optimum, but we're going to have a new price of P2. So what I've actually done is reduce the price here and increase the demand there. And this helps us when we're trying to explain the diagram. So what's actually happened is there's been a shift of the supply curve to the right, so S to S1. This is so just make sure I'm explaining this right. Yeah. So there's been, as we've shifted the supply curve, there's been an extension in demand. So D has gone from Q to Q1. Price has fallen. Oh, actually, they should be the other way around. Price has fallen from P to P2. So they should be the other way around. Well, they shouldn't have to, but it just makes more sense if you have them the other way around. So yeah, and then obviously the overall effect is dependent on the magnitude of the change. The shift of the supply. This is the same for both your demerit and merit goods, dependent on the shift in the supply. Hopefully that's got it there. You can do that by, there could be a subsidy, that, or it could be a relaxation in the regulations that have been set by the government, but that's your basic merit goods topic covered. Hopefully you've got that, and we'll see you in the next video.